All right, so today's Thanksgiving, and I traded last night going into today morning, which is a video that you saw yesterday. But for today's video the Asia session of Thanksgiving, so Thursday, November 28th. And basically what happened was, as we opened on Asia session, right, I wasn't really streaming until later after this move, or at the end of this move, but we opened at the Asia session, right over here, and we initially consolidated, then dropped completely. And I was watching price, but I wasn't really keen on like trading that action until we started dropping, and I started looking at the sell side liquidity levels, and that's when I began the stream. And once we took out these sell side liquidity levels, I was looking for a reversal because my overall bias, which I've established over the last few days, is bullish because of this reversal that happened on the Tuesday or Wednesday New York session. So basically, or could have been Tuesday, I don't remember. But basically, I was looking for the reversals, and I'm overall bullish. So all this sell side liquidity to me was perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to see. So we take sell side liquidity. I do a little paper trade right here, right? Just 10-point scalp, which was kind of nice because it kind of built confidence going into my longs of like, okay, I already hit one trade, although I didn't actually take that trade. But after we swept sell side liquidity, I pointed out that I wanted price to do one of two things. I wanted it to either inverse this fair value gap on this 1 minute fair value gap right here. I wanted to inverse it and push higher, or I wanted to see a push into that fair value gap, manipulation of that low upwards, test the fair value gap one more time, and then continue. So either way, I wanted to see a reversal, right? If it kept on running lower, I would have known, and I maybe would have gotten stopped out of a trade. But right here is what happened. This didn't exactly happen. So I did call this live, and if you're not joining the live streams, bro, I don't want to say you're missing out because that builds FOMO, but come on, join the live streams. But basically, this setup came in the 750 to 810 macro, and what happened was we manipulated the low after creating a bearish fair value gap. I was really watching for this fair value gap to get inversed. It would be such a good bullish sign, especially considering that we took out all the equal lows I was looking for to be taken away. We even tapped into a 15-minute fair value gap, which I don't have marked out, but we have. I'll show that actually. Basically, 15-minute right here. Oh, I did have it marked out, yeah. So after we take the sell side liquidity, and also this is all happening on a 1 minute chart. After we take sell side liquidity, we start to trade into the inverse fair value gap. We have these strong bullish candles, and after this bearish candle, I immediately take longs just because I feel like it's just a perfect price to enter. And if my stop loss is right below this low, but right here, it's a perfect stop loss. So I place my stop loss at this low. You can see by the entry, and I then enter 5 micros. But then after one more candle, I look at my target, and I'm just like, I just get more confident knowing that my target is on the new week opening gap, right above the new day opening gap. There's a 15-minute fair value gap above, and there's an inverse fair value gap over there that price used earlier to reject lower. So it's just such a strong point of contention that like, how can I not just pyramid on this position and not pyramid earlier? So I pyramided onto this position 2 extra micros, so it was a 7 micro trade. Stop loss positioned well under this low. So right here, if we were to tap into my stop loss, I'd be okay, and I'd just sit on my hands. I've already had that paper trade, and then I had this trade. And as we started to push higher, there are certain things I was looking for. So firstly, I wanted to hold this inverse fair value gap. We did that nicely. We priced outside of the fair value gap. We closed. We had an up close candle above it. Then we retested the equilibrium of it and continued higher. We created an inverse fair value gap on the 5 minute as well, with this bearish fair value gap. And so everything was just in my favor from the start, or not from the start, but as we progressed higher. And so we basically, we just had several inverse fair value gaps. And then I looked at price on this level. I told my chat, I told my viewers, where once we reach this high, this local high, right, I want price to not close below that because it's just a higher time frame order block that I want us to respect. And basically what happened is we didn't even close below it. I could have really added to my position, but yeah. And then right here is where I said, and this candle occurred at 8:58 p.m. Eastern timing. Right here I placed a text box like 2 minutes before that saying displace before 8:58 p.m. I gave it 5 minutes to displace basically, and I put that text box there at 8:53. It displaced at 8:56, exceeding expectations 2 minutes earlier. And yeah, this was altogether just such a beautiful trade. We tapped into the equal highs, then we distributed above the equal highs. By then, like, my stop loss was already at break even. I kind of have a policy that I like to follow, or a rule, but where if I'm already 50% to my take profit, then I'll move my stop loss to break even. But until then, my stop loss remains where it is. Just for manipulation purposes, price can do what it wants. But anyways, when I saw this run up, I kind of knew the position. I kind of had a really good feeling about the position just being clear. And yeah, we run above these equal highs, and then eventually we do run to my original take profit was actually exactly on this high right here, which was in this inverse fair value gap and all that. But what happened was ES had actually priced above it a lot faster, so I kind of just exited out of fear, which I definitely shouldn't have. Like, I kind of regret that, especially considering that I would have made $100 more had I just stuck to my original take profit. But at the same time, I don't feel like I exited early. I feel like I exited safely. And I did hold this position for a while, and I played the reversal perfectly, called it all live, everything as it was happening. We had this order block. We also had this higher time frame order block right here, denoted by this black line right here, this trend line, meant to say that. And yeah, basically what we did in this accumulation right here, which was really just the longest stall before it ran to my take profit, we were accumulating buy orders. So we're manipulating internal lows. Like, I actually called this. I said this is a little manipulation leg right here. And once I saw these two down close candles, I was kind of getting a little bit fearful. But then we had this strong up close candle, and yeah, it was history from there. We also had this inverse fair value gap, and look at that. Look at that. Look at it can't be random, bro. This algorithm's a real thing. Look at how many times we tap into the equilibrium of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, ICT is just such a real thing, bro. And this was purely an ICT trade. I don't have any indicators. I only use one screen, and I don't even use a mouse, bro. I use a trackpad. So yeah, it was just a purely ICT trade. Had a great time engaging with chat in the live stream as well. It was only an hour 40 minutes, but we had a great time. Everyone in there enjoyed the trade. Several people took the longs were in longs with me. And yeah, at the end of the day, this is not financial advice, and I definitely want to emphasize that. And yeah, thank you for those who tuned in. And until next time, make sure you guys stay disciplined in your trades. Make sure you adhere to your stop losses, adhere to your take profits, and also when you get the signal from price, don't be afraid to enter. So yeah, thank you guys.